Hey everybody, Shoebox Legends here. Thanks for joining me today for another episode covering some Cardmunity goings-on, I guess I would say. Just a few updates related to the cardboard community here on YouTube, including a couple of envelopes that came in recently from some friends of the channel. Before we get to those new cards that just came in, did want to touch quickly on the background card here, or one of the two background cards. Check out this sweet Panini Prism Ryan Stanton rookie card. Decided to go with this one because with the NHL playoffs in full swing and kind of nearing their conclusion with the Stanley Cup Finals coming up over the next couple weeks, wanted to try to feature some cards in the background on the channel that feature the Stanley Cup, in my opinion, the greatest trophy in all of sports, and chose this one to lead off because it is from the lone standalone Panini Prism hockey set. So Panini had an NHL license only very briefly, lasted a few years. In the very last year of having that license, they released a Prism hockey set, the same brand that baseball, basketball, and football collectors know and love, is wildly popular, especially in basketball and football where it's licensed. This is, again, the only licensed hockey set that came out. It was in 2013. And this card, as far as I know, is the only card in the set that features the Stanley Cup. Ryan Stanton, this is his rookie. He didn't end up doing much at the NHL level. He's not a very notable player, but he was fortunate enough to come into the league for the Blackhawks at a time where they were winning Stanley Cups somewhat regularly, led by Kane and Taves, and was very fortunate to end up with this photograph on his Prism card. And this is a purple ice parallel, which I think was like an exclusive that was released for like the Expo, maybe, which is like Canada's version of the National. I forget the exact details about this card, but it has that atomic or cracked ice deal going on. And as a lover of this lone Panini Prism hockey release, that was a card that I was really, really glad to add to the collection. And I thought it was a good backdrop for today because it just so happens to match the purple coloring of this Metal Universe blaster from 2020-21. I will not be ripping into this today on the channel because this blaster is actually heading out to a friend in the community. So I've been talking a bit with Ken from KensCardboard, which is a fantastic YouTube channel that I discovered kind of early on in my joining the platform, and have really been digging Ken's videos and content. Love his approach to the hobby. I think we share a lot in common with how we approach the hobby. And Ken is a big Avs fan, Colorado Avalanche, and had reached out to me and asked if I wanted to make it interesting and wager a blaster on the Avalanche Oilers series, the Western Conference Finals that just wrapped up a couple of nights ago. I was a little bit hesitant to go there because, quite honestly, I thought the Avalanche would win the series. And in another little wager I have going with some hobby friends, I did pick the Avalanche to go all the way to the finals and lose to the Lightning. So obviously I'm a big believer in the Avalanche, and I did think that they would likely win the series. However, decided to accept the wager anyway because I did have this blaster on the shelf, and I thought it would just be kind of good in the spirit of camaraderie and the YouTube Cardmunity to do that wager. So Ken, I will be shipping this off to you probably this coming weekend, along with a few RAKs and Avalanche cards I had set aside for you. So keep an eye on your mailbox for that one, and hopefully that's one you'll rip open on the channel. But obviously, you know, no pressure to do so if you'd rather stash it away unopened. Ken did mention to me that he's never opened any Metal Universe, and it is a very fun set. So keep an eye on KensCardboard. I'll leave a link below in case you're not subscribed, and you may see this blaster open there in the very near future. With that housekeeping business out of the way, did want to get to two envelopes that came in over the course of the past week from two great channels that I'm very friendly with here in the community. The first is from RJ at RJ Collects Sets. And as with Ken, I will leave links to these two channels in the description below as well. I would assume that anyone watching this is already subscribed to KensCardboard and RJ Collects Sets, and the third channel that we're going to talk about in a moment. But if you're not, do yourself a favor and get over there. Stat. RJ is an awesome guy. He has sent me cards in the past that I've shown on video, and this is just the latest example of his kindness. Here's a small note. Another card I came across that belongs in your collection, not mine. Enjoy, RJ. And I don't need to spend a lot of time saying it. I think we all realize it, but that's one of the things that's so awesome about this card community on YouTube is the generosity and the number of people that are just honestly looking out for other people's collections, getting to know their interests and likes, and then keeping an eye out for things that would be a better fit in their collection than their own, and then sending them off to those folks. And I just think that that concept is fantastic. I'm very used to sort of that line of collecting or that line of thinking from my days in the blogging community, the sports card blogging community, but it's nice to see that that same friendliness is alive and well here on YouTube. And check this out. Now, I did know this was coming only because I saw a video on RJ's channel where he showed this card and mentioned that he was going to send it to me, but this is just amazing. This is an Expos buyback. Did a whole episode on these recently and have another upcoming where I talk about the various stamped buybacks that Topps has done for collectors as inserts over the years. This one I can tell from the Topps original stamp came from a box of 2015 Topps Update baseball. You'd get about 5 or 6 of these buybacks as inserts in a hobby box of Update that year. It was just a really fun promotion. I will have to see if this one makes the buyback Frankenset. Has a very good chance because it's card number 578 and the higher numbers are a little more challenging to fill. And aside from that, I believe this is the first year that Montreal Expos cards were produced. I'm sure someone will correct me in the comments below if I'm wrong about that for some reason, but really nice early Expos buyback there. So thank you so much, RJ. It's amazing how on point that is. I've only recently kind of dusted off the buybacks to start doing some more videos, and no sooner did I do that than you hit me up with an amazing one. So thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate it. And whether that makes the Frankenset or not, I assure you it'll be given a very good home here in my collection. And now the final envelope that we have to conclude today's video participated in the recent collection giveaway by Cardwolf, CW over at Cardwolf. I have shouted him out a few times. If you are not subscribed to Cardwolf, you are missing out. I have described him in his early going as like the Bob Ross of the cardboard community here on YouTube. Just a super relaxed and friendly approach to the hobby. Very knowledgeable, very positive, and someone who you can tell is just genuinely enjoying himself here on the platform. And as evidence of that, for those of you who don't know, CW, in order to celebrate 200 subs, which he recently achieved here on the platform, he bought an entire collection of baseball cards off of eBay, presumably, and offered up the entire collection to any of his subscribers. And I just, he's done that twice now, and I participated in the first giveaway. So basically, he spent almost an hour going through the entire collection, showing every single card on video, and all you had to do is reach out to him with an email and give him a list of cards that you wanted from the collection break, and then he did his best to divvy those out and send them to all the channels. So all told, he sent out over 80 packages of cards to people, envelopes or bubble mailers, depending on the number of cards. But just think about the amount of effort that goes into buying a collection online. It was in a binder and a shoebox full of loose cards, which we'll talk more about in a minute. Putting together an hour-long video showing all of those off, offering them all up for grabs, and then doing all the legwork to coordinate and correlate everybody's requests and put together 80 outbound packages. These went all over the US, overseas. Simply amazing the amount of hard work and generosity that CW put into that 200 sub giveaway. Now, initially, I was not going to participate in this. The collection had a lot of cards from the 80s and 90s of star players and Hall of Famers. Just so happened that a lot of it overlapped with what I've already got in the collection, so I figured I would take a back seat and let other folks kind of pick whatever they wanted and just leave a comment that I appreciated what he was doing, but kind of stay away from the giveaway. That changed towards the end of the video. There was one card that I spotted, I guess sort of with an eagle eye, that I don't think any, or at least many other people noticed. And the reason is, as I said, showing that entire collection took CW almost an hour. It was a very long video. He went through a binder that probably had 40 or 50 pages in it. And then after the binder, there was a shoebox that literally just contained loose cards that were in no way protected, not in a sleeve, just stacks and stacks of loose cards. And so understandably, by the end of that video, and this is just a sample stack of, 88 tops here from my own collection, but after an hour, CW is kind of flipping through these very quickly like this and really just touching on, highlights or big names. So, 45, 50 minutes into this thing, a lot of people were probably exhausted. CW himself was probably exhausted, and he was moving through the cards, just like you see here at a sort of a faster rate. And as he was shuffling through a stack like that, I did a double take because I thought I saw a card that I've been after for years now as a Red Sox fan and Red Sox collector. I had to pause the video, go back, rewatch it, that segment a couple times, and even slowed down or pausing and rewatching it was difficult to really know whether that was the card I thought it was. I was looking up images of that card in a separate tab in my browser and then flipping back and forth to the video. I put some effort in here, and in the end, I was fairly sure that it was what I thought it was. And so I did end up asking CW for just one card from the giveaway, and it was that card. And he was kind enough to send it to me. So the note's going to spoil a little bit here, but Shane, here's the Ortiz rookie you spotted. Thought you might not have this other one from my travels as well. So the other one that he mentions is a really nice throw in here from Bowman. And this is from the World Baseball Classic, which I love. Features David Ortiz. Here's a look at the back. I think this is 2009 Bowman was when the Baseball Classic was taking place. But obviously Ortiz played for the Dominican Republic. So love the oddness of this one. It's kind of cool to get something other than an Ortiz Red Sox card after getting hundreds of those over the years. But then the one that he alluded to, the one that I spotted as he was quickly going through the stack in the video, the David Arias, before he was known as Ortiz, Fleer Ultra Rookie. And I'm going to, with no disrespect to CW, I do the same thing myself when I mail out cards, but I'm going to take Big Poppy out of this sort of scuffed up top loader and move him into a one-touch holder here, which is the kind of treatment that I think this card deserves. But this card has probably had an amazing journey. I'm assuming, based on the details of the collection, that whoever put this collection together back in the day before they sold it to CW had no clue who David Arias was back in 1997. Nobody did, really. This is before the trade to Boston, before the name change. He was just a young slugger with sort of a spotty track record. And so if you were going through these cards in 1997 or 1998, I can totally see how David Ortiz would end up in your, unprotected shoebox of cardboard and not really any attention being paid to it. But of course, now 25 years after the fact, this is a pretty significant card, and I've got so much when it comes to David Ortiz cardboard, just from being a Red Sox fan over the years and a Red Sox team collector during the time when he was, dominating for Boston. But I never got a hold of this rookie card. And over the last couple of years, as has happened with, almost every area of this hobby, this thing has absolutely taken off, and it's actually a fairly valuable card now. So I just think it's an amazing story that somebody pulled this, from a pack or ended up with this in their collection 25 years ago. It wasn't a card you would even think twice about, got thrown into a stack of completely unprotected cards, loose in a shoebox, sat like that for who knows how many years, got shipped across the country to CW out in Utah, was thumbed through so quickly in a giveaway video that hardly anybody even noticed it. And at the end of the day, due to, that path that this card traveled and CW's just amazing generosity, ended up filling a very significant hole in my sports cards and my Boston Red Sox and David Ortiz collection. So in my selfish, biased opinion, I think I got the single best card out of that entire giveaway. It means so much to me and will always be kind of extra appreciated knowing that it came from CW, who's just become a great friend in the cardboard community here and someone who I consider a dear friend in the hobby. So getting this card with that kind of backstory and those kind of memories associated with it, to me, makes it more special than if this thing was, a PSA 10 slab. I love the story behind this. I love that I was able to acquire this as part of supporting a friend and his awesome channel here on the platform. And I think this is just, another sign of the amazing generosity that exists, with CW and with this whole community in general. And so just wanted to share that. Such a special card and one of the cards that I've been most excited to add to my collection and as long as I can remember. So you absolutely made my day, my week, my collecting year with this one. Just amazing. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, CW. You are the man. Sent you back a pretty significant card just because I kind of felt guilty between the David Ortiz rookie and a couple of the really nice 60s singles that you've sent me recently. I know you don't expect anything in return, but it felt like the right thing to do. So there's a package now en route to Utah that has one kind of special card in it that I hope you'll enjoy and appreciate as much as I like this David Ortiz rookie. So that's a wrap for today. And once again, another shout out as well to RJ at RJ Collect Sets and to Ken at Ken's Cardboard. I appreciate you stopping by and joining me for this kind of random episode. And I'm going to go back to staring at my David Arias rookie card here, but I'll be back in the very near future with some more sports card content. Until then, enjoy the hobby and take care.